right. So Justin, what would you say has been one of the most influential moments in your life up to this point?
I think most influential moment up to this point, I would say moving my sophomore year to Massachusetts would probably be one of my most influential moments. I think that it made me really step back and look at everything and reconsider my life and the choices that I had made. And freshman year of high school, we tend to all make mistakes in many ways. We're still young, and I think moving kind of allowed me to start new, which a lot of people don't get, and it allowed me to grow up and make better decisions. And it was influential most of all, I think, because you had to put in effort to meet new people and make new friends. And it's kind of like coming to college for the first time. There's always people that came from school with you. There's maybe a way to interfere and jump in with people all around, but I think that was overall definitely the most influential piece of my life, because I think that shaped me very heavily to who I am today.
Do you think the fact that your parents were well prepared for that move kind of also helped to gear you well for that transition?
Yeah, I mean, I think that they expected it and we saw it coming. I guess on the other hand, in an opposing sense, I think the fact that it was not random, but kind of there's very few people, I think, who just kind of oh, well, tomorrow we're living somewhere else. I think that it's often you know where you're going to be. And I think that, we only had kind of 4 to 6 months, which is a long time, but it's a lot sooner than you think when you think about leaving family and friends. And yeah, I mean, it's tough because you can move all your stuff and buy a new house, but it's hard it takes a long time to turn that into a home, I guess, in that sense. But
would you say you enjoyed the transition there? Was Massachusetts more beneficial than Oregon in terms of your school and career? Or? Yeah,
I mean, I think it was beneficial because of that change that I saw that I could easily make. I think that was definitely that was very helpful. I would say, just comparing, apples to oranges, Oregon to Massachusetts, I think that it was different, a lot of snow, which was a real pain. The climate was a little bit overwhelming, but I think that, I've always struggled with history and history classes of any sort. And just because I knew why, I know why things are the way they are today, but at the same time, whether or not I knew it wouldn't really change anything. I mean, everything would just, it'd be the same way.
Such a historic.
Yeah, and I think that living in Massachusetts and, having the ability to drive into Boston and see where the Boston Massacre happened, it was I felt like I learned about that every year, my entire life, and actually being able to see it, and I mean, I guess not in person, but being able to imagine that occurring in that moment, it kind of brought more depth to a lot of, especially history being my worst class, but that was a nice touch for sure.
I think
it's good. Thanks, guys.
Yes.